Hello, Dota fans, and welcome to the final day of the OGA Dota Pit Season 5 EU and CIS regions. We are very excited to bring you today's events as we have a best of 3 and a best of 5 to find out who is going to be crowned the grand champion of the first post-TI event, really. It's very, very exciting. We'll see how things line up. And of course, joining me on the panel to talk to you through today's games, we have got Misery and Lizard. Guys, look at this bracket. Look at these teams. Look at the amount of 2-1s we've had as well throughout this tournament. It has been a wild ride. I mean, looking back on all the games we've had, taking a minute, what's been your favorite series so far, Lizard?
So far, I think for me at least personally, OG Team Spirit was extremely good in the upper bracket. Yeah, it was a good series. It was a lot of fun, bloodbath happening everywhere, and OG as well coming as a group of youngsters. They have to be commended. What they ended up being fourth in their first tournament, like that's some insane success already, considering they were just formed. Looking forward to watching them in the upcoming DPC season. But here, OG Team Spirit as well. Liked it a lot.
What about
I sound
you,
like OG fanboy, don't I?
You do a little bit, but we're allowed to be now. They're a new squad. Misery, what was your favorite series so far?
I mean, I agree with Lizard. That series was very good. I also think that the OG Liquid series was good. We saw the other day. Also, the first time Liquid lost the series, right?
Yes,
so that was nice to see. I mean, not see Liquid lose, but just a nice series, right?
Yeah, that's what I would have gone for. That was an insane one.
In general, it also feels like teams are very capable of all beating each other, right? It's like Team Spirit does look a bit like high level, but still, it feels like they could lose, right? They have shown some weaknesses, lost some single games here and there, but yeah, generally, like everybody can beat everybody. That's kind of how it is in the European region.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even Na'Vi, who dropped out straight away, they still took a game of both of the series they played. Alliance as well were able to take a game of Nigma Galaxy. Like, all of these teams are capable of beating each other, and that's what's made this tournament so damn exciting. And I think the winner should be in a really good place. It's going to give them a huge boost of confidence coming in to the end of the DPC season and into that first major, and it could mean a lot in the future. And a team which are already doing well is, of course, Team Spirit. They are already in the grand finals and will be waiting for the winner of this series. Now, this one is Tundra versus Team Secret. And first, I would like to talk about Team Tundra. They're a team which was peaking pretty much around the TI era, but they never made it to TI, unfortunately. They peaked just past the qualifiers, therefore couldn't get to TI. And everyone was just watching them going, man, I wish this team were there, but they didn't make it when they needed to. And now I think there's been a bit of discussion about feeling as though they're on a downwards trend. Why is that?
I mean,
you go, Misery.
I mean, for me, it's almost like from day to day, right? Because one day they show some weakness and they lose to, they lose a series where they look, a bit off. And then the next day, suddenly they just turn up the tempo, draft differently, and beat OG 2-0 very convincingly, right? Exactly. For example, right? So they're still like one of the absolute strongest teams in Europe, like no doubt. I feel like they're also one of the most consistent. Even though they have lost a couple of series, it still feels like they're still a hard team to beat, like overall, right? Where some of the other teams are very fragile. Tundra is, solid.
I think expectations were set extremely high coming into this tournament for them. And it's not that they haven't met them, it's just they've met them in a way which people didn't expect. Losing a little bit earlier on, coming through that lower bracket, but then looking damn good, destroying that lower bracket and absolutely wiping OG off the face of the earth. Like, I don't think any team had OG's number as much as Tundra did yesterday out of the tournament so far, Liz.
Yeah, it definitely looked that way. Keep in mind that Tundra did not have a single easy series in this tournament. I guess no one did. It's a pretty packed tournament, and there's also different voices exclaiming that Tundra is probably one of the best teams to look out in Europe, especially when it comes to players talking about their scrims and what's happening in them. So obviously we have very high expectations just because of all these rumors that are circling around. But in games, like some games they look very off. Some days and some games they look completely unbeatable. Like exactly the same like just before the TI.
But if you actually, now that I look at the bracket, it was only kind of Team Spirit that beat them, like convincingly. That's the series where they looked off, right? And it is Team Spirit after all. Since then, they have won all their series. They beat Navi, Nigma, and OG yesterday. Now they have a chance to, meet Team Spirit again if they can take down Team Secret.
Yeah,
So-
and let's be honest, losing to Team Spirit isn't exactly a huge disappointment for anybody. But I was mentioning more about the DPC as well, where they've dropped series to Liquid and Secret. But again, both very, very good teams. So, and also, I think they do have this new coach coming into this season, right? They've worked with Aoi a bit in the past, but he's now officially the coach of Team Tundra. So I'm kind of expecting them to have this little bit of a lull where they drop a few series here and there. But then I'm also kind of expecting them to transform into this mega beast as they learn how best to utilize Aoi. Let's have a look at the other side of the coin very quickly. We've got, of course, Team Secret coming into this one. Now, they had a great upper bracket run until they ran into Team Spirit, where they were beaten in that one. But, not without a decent fight. And Secret, they've looked very, very good as well. How similar are these teams in terms of power level to you guys?
I feel like when you look at Team Secret, you look at an equation that's already solved, but it's really strong, right? It doesn't matter. These players are extremely high skilled, well known. You know what they're gonna do, but still they do it so fast and so well that you just can't adapt to it. I out of these two, Tundra, for me at least, is a little bit more of a mystery when it comes to which Tundra shows up to the game, what draft they have, and whatnot. For Puppy, his teams, they kind of all follow the same agenda, the same way of playing.
Well, you mentioned draft, and we do now have a draft underway, so let's waste no time in jumping into game number 1 of Tundra versus Team Secret in this lower bracket elimination final match. The winner of this series will go on to face Team Spirit in the best of 5 grand finals.
I just saw that Team Tundra has already used a fair share of their bonus time in the first phase. Contemplating whether or not they should leave that OD for Team Secret. Chooses not to in the end. I think that's a probably smart choice.
There was a penalty for them. I just looked at
Is that why?
OD.
Okay.
Yeah. They were a bit late.
Makes sense then.
Naughty Tundra.
Still though, what do you think about the bans? Monkey and OD on one side, Io and Bane, and interesting Nyx Assassin picked up. Like, we've seen some teams do extremely well with him. We've seen some teams pretty much outright flop with Nyx Assassin. It came back into the meta like a counter to OD, or somewhat of a counter, right? And now it's being picked regardless.
It's also kind of the Queen of Pain, right? Which is like very much a go-to mid right now.
Yeah, Queen of Pain's been very popular. Second most picked hero of the tournament so far, with a 58% win rate, so 12 games.
If I look at these two heroes, Tundra Esports, man, I like their opening already better. Of course, you can't tell a lot from the two heroes, but Spirit Breaker after last night looks just insanely strong. I wonder if we'll see something like the build collapse went. The Kaya one with the Aghanims. What did you think about that build, Misery? Like, you were watching the game, right?
I was only watching like the first 15 minutes of a replay today, so I didn't get to the where he was full slotted. But I think Spiritbreaker is like definitely one of the power heroes of this patch right now. It's just a matter of like, can you get to the point where he does this Aghanims charge across the map, over and over? If you get to that point, it feels like it's impossible to deal with, right? But if you can somehow shut him down in the laning phase a bit, then like you have a couple of heroes that can remove his bulldoze. Yeah, if you have like Shadow Demon or early Yules or something, he can kind of be a guy who just dies, right? So we've kind of seen him be very successful, but also like unsuccessful. You could say like Nigma ran it offlane as well, where it wasn't successful.
Yeah, I'm suffering a little bit from the recency bias, just watching Spirit Breaker dominate yesterday. And
it was so good yesterday.
Yeah,
I did actually have a look at the Dota 2 Pro Tracker information behind Spirit Breaker, and he doesn't build it very often, the Kaya and Yasha in the offlane, but when he's played mid, it's like a 33% pickup rate or something. So it's not like a very rare thing, but it's uncommon, and it is definitely uncommon to see it in the offlane.
Right.
Really good answer. to Spirit Breaker and Doom right now with the Timber Saw picked up very early on for Ice, and you already have these two bulky strength boys that you can deal with. I wonder if Team Secret will perhaps even think about solo laning this Timber Saw on the safe lane and doing something like a tri lane that we've seen recently. Not the strongest with Nyx Assassin, obviously, but possible.
I think they will do it if Tundra is somehow like tri laning as well and like making it like impossible for Timbersaw to get his level 3 fast, then I think they might do it, right? Just to kind of secure his lane. And about the Spirit Breaker build, I forgot to actually answer the question, which is like I think the Kaya-san is kind of maybe a bit of a meme build. It does add extra damage, right? Because your bass is magical damage. But I think it's probably because they were so far ahead, right, that you can do it.
That's what we were guessing. He went for Kaya Yasha, by the way. It wasn't even a Sanj. Like he went for Yasha. I mean, Yasha makes some more sense because of the movement speed bonus.
Right. I mean, that's kind of also what I meant, actually. It's just those.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
You don't say Kaya Yasha very often, do you?
No, it's definitely
all.
the most uncommon one picked up, I would guess. But not on Spirit Breaker.
I'm not sure. Like I was on a receiving end of flames and doubts when it comes to item builds as well, long time ago, and some of them were picked up afterwards. Kaya Yasha, man, it might be the next new thing. You know, like you get bonus movement speed, percentage based, then you get percentage based damage, which stacks on top of that bonus movement speed that you get from Yasha. Or maybe I'm just being dumb here and he's debating me and he's memeing. It's also possible.
I haven't done the math, you know. It might be just too good of a damage item on the hero. That's an interesting pick in a way, right? Another strength hero into Timbersaw. It's not normally what you see.
What do you think? Why do they get Undying here into a Timber?
I think the Undying can beat the Timbersaw in lane pretty hard, right? If he gets the right, start to the game. So, because you just spam decay on him, right? And if you have a strong carry hero to follow up on that, then you can probably kill him a couple of times.
Oracle. Is this some dual pick straight away? Oracle plus something?
Huskar?
Let's see. Troll, Huskar. They do get the Purge versus Spirit Breaker as well, which is kind of nice.
Right. But, that's kind of a unpicked hero to counter Spirit Breaker, right? You always talk about the Shadow Demon Purge, but Oracle has a level 1 spell that can remove it with much lower cooldown.
What will they combo with though? That's also, it prevents, I guess, if you're Tundra, you play this Doom on the mid lane as well. And Spirit Breaker still could be 4 and you could pick Darkseer now. Maybe that's something that they were thinking. 33 is a DS player. But into a Nyx, meh. Not sure. Lash.
Ooh.
It's a good combo with Oracle as well, right? Like,
sure.
Oh, yeah.
All these heroes that want to be up front benefit tremendously from having Oracle on their side.
Also looks like a good Lash game, right? Into 3 melee heroes already. So gives them this timing with the Timbersaw where they can really take towers down as well. When Timbersaw is really strong, you try to dodge him, Lash will just edict the towers down. I also think it's a nice, I think it's one of ISIS's best heroes, this Timbersaw. So it's cool to see them pick this guy up. They have had success with it a couple of times.
Arguably the best, right? On him, like the way he plays Timbersaw. There aren't many players. He did recently. Was it DOTA Pit where? Yeah, it was DOTA Pit. I think where he literally won them the game. He
think so.
That one team fight with 10k damage.
The old this Timbersaw is really strong. Then proceeds to get like an ulti kill on a team fight. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Which Weaver? Is this a carry Weaver then?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a carry Weaver. So it's like, I mean, it just makes sense with the Undying Weaver lane, right? Against Timber. You can probably kill him a couple of times, is what the idea is here. And then it's also a nice carry Weaver game in the sense that there's only Nyx Assassins to really lock you down.
It's also a nice hero to pick up if you're worried about Razor. And you still have some bans. You could have dealt with him that way, but it's also nice versus Oracle. Oracle hates playing versus all these carries that get in the backlines, right? To get close to him.
I think it's also when you have this Doom and you plan on putting it mid, or even 3, like Doom gets so much, like he scales so well into late game and is kind of a greedy hero, so you don't necessarily have to go for this like super hard carry, right? You can kind of go a little bit middle of the road and pick up a Weaver, because you know that if the Doom gets off to this super high net worth and the game goes late, you probably have the late game no matter what. So it's more about like, how do we not lose the early game so hard that Doom doesn't get to that point, right?
Right.
I like the fact that I was smart enough to figure out Weaver Razor correlation, but not smart enough to figure out like in which direction it goes. Like Tundra, they do have the last pick, so if they pick the Weaver now, they could go for that switch up, right, with the Razor last, and then Team Secret does not have that avenue to use. They couldn't pick Weaver against it, as Team Secret also need a carry on their last pick.
Does feel like Tundra need a bit of spell damage though, right? Like they don't actually have any nukes, and
unless you build Kai on Spirit Breaker and you charge people, then you have spell damage.
then you
apparently.
It's kind of it's a bit weird when your best spell is like Spirit Breaker charge or Soul Rip. That's like your best nuke.
So they could use a little more, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, when you play against Timbersaw, traditionally you want to have these high nuke heroes, right? So he can't just regen through all the damage with his armor stacks.
But I guess that's where it gets a little bit awkward, because they picked this Nyx Assassin on Team Secret, and that what makes this opening so strong, because you don't want to pick something like, the Lena or the Queen of Pain or the Pugna into this Nyx Assassin for those big nukes, because they're just going to get blown up because of all they're in. And of course,
yeah, I mean that is definitely one of the strengths of Nyx. Just if you just refrain from picking all these end heroes. Yeah, pretty much half the hero pool is like nah.
Int, nah. Batrider, nah. Whatever you want, nah. Nyx Assassin, man.
I'm still waiting for the DP to come back in the meta. I feel like this. Imagine Tundra last picks DP here. I just think it looks so strong. Maybe now a little bit less so, but still, it's just one of those nuke heroes that doesn't care about nukes as much. Good against everything.
Boy. And here it is, the Nisha Morphling. How many times do I have to read out this stat until people will learn? He has played 70 games of Morphling over his professional career, and he has a 78% win rate on this hero. You have to be ready for the Morphling pick if you're playing against Team Secret. Have Tundra address this hero enough?
It's also nice because they can flex it both mid and safe lane, right? With the Lesh.
And you also have Lesh that covers some of his weaknesses, such as PL, right? And you have this hero that can turn into Undying, use the Tombstone on its own.
I can hear Black crying in the distance. But is it a good anti-mage game? Does this work?
Yes, I believe this is a very good anti-mage game, actually.
Oh, damn. Maybe he's not crying.
You're against... All three cores kind of hate anti-mage. The only thing that can really kill you is... like nukes Vendetta into like many stuns, right? I will say though that if Timbersaw gets a lot of items, like if this drags onto late game, Timbersaw can pretty much kill anti-mage by using just all this pure damage, but generally it doesn't get to that point if AM gets farmed, so it's a nice curveball. We've seen Tundra do this a couple of times now, right? Where they they completely flip everything around.
Yeah, wasn't expecting it. So the Weaver will be on the pos 4, the Anti-Mage will be on the on the safe lane, and that's how it will be. Very interesting indeed. Lizard, what are your thoughts on this Anti-Mage pick before we sum up these drafts?
I just like that the Anti-Mage pick moved Spirit Breaker into a mid lane. So 9 will be playing that mid lane. Spirit Breaker is
going to be a treat.
Gonna be a lot of fun. I'm not sure which way this one is going, even though Anti-Mage is strong here. You're playing into the Slash and Timbersaw, which will play on a, let's say, faster tempo, together with Puppy Oracle just saving them. It comes down for me to Sumail and CIS to change the tempo of the game, take control of the map, and then Nyx Assassin, like Misery said, can hunt Anti-Mage around and perhaps get a couple of pickoffs. Still, I think Tundra's Esports draft is 60-40, let's put it that way. It's easier for them.
Okay. Well, Misery, what are your final thoughts on these drafts before we throw it across?
Yeah, I also think the Anti-Mage game is just very good, so I think if you get some couple of items, it's hard for Secret, although I must say that who's like 9 is going to play mid Spirit Breaker against the Morphling? That doesn't sound like a fun time. Like you might get a couple of CS the first few waves, but what do you do after that? So Nisha is just going to have a free game soon. We know his win rate is ridiculous, so it's going to be interesting to see who will take this one.
I'm not crazy enough to bet against Nisha Morphling, so yeah, I'm gonna go Team Secret on this one. But let's find out what happens in game number 1 of this elimination lower bracket final best of 3 series with our lovely, lovely casters. We've got Beakoff and Black on the mic.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Black, we get to see another anti-mage game. I feel like me and you have seen just about every anti-mage game in this event so far, and had different thoughts coming into every single one of them.
Yeah. But this one is an absolute last pick anti-mage, which is, I said anti-mage is a terrible hero unless you actually get to see all 9 heroes and then decide. Like in this game, it actually looks super powerful, right? Like once you get 3-4 items, all of the heroes on the die are actually afraid of you. Like there's just so much freedom you have, so many mana void targets, like at least 4. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game for Secret if they can't stop this anti-mage early. Like as the panel already said, they need to set the pace, set a really high pace rather, because this Morphling is going to be middle, he's going to have a lot of levels, a lot of farm, he's going to be much stronger than the anti-mage early on. And they don't have the best heroes to really kill him, so together with Lash and Ice Timber, I think Nisha can make some magic happen.
He's got a high win rate on that morph, like the panel said. Does that take away, though, from the Lash? If he's not mid, he's not getting those levels, he's in a side lane splitting experience, is his pushing potential just going to be a little bit slower? Like, does that matter as much?
I am not a big fan of side lane Lash, just because of what you just mentioned. Like, levels are just so integral to this hero. And getting the level 4 Edict fast is just so important. They're prioritizing the carries game over the pace setters game, and that can really backfire against a hero like Anti-Mage. So we'll see how it works out for them. But this AM, in theory, should free farm against this Nyx Timbersaw. They can't really threaten him at all.
It'll be interesting to see Skitter have his chance with this Anti-Mage, and then, of course, we've always talked about it. Ice, Ice, Ice on this Timbersaw, how strong, how destructive he is with it. And we've seen some really good games out of him with this Timbersaw coming into this event. Couple of stuns on Snaking.
Well,
to use a tango or so.
Yeah, now we all know who did more finger training. Definitely Tundra. But to snatch both the runes in a right-click duel.
They have the follow-up stun, but it just won't be in time.
Yeah, it's hard, because the Oracle spell didn't actually root him for all that long. I think it was only channeled half duration. Very tough to set up a dash stun on that.
And they still want to go after 3-3.
Another one, though.
Really put on some harassment. They've got another stun from Sumail, so they're going to keep right-clicking. And when they're ready, they might just throw a Split Earth, potentially get the kill onto the Doom if he's not too careful. Good avoiding of the stun.
They're getting right-click, though, by both.
Another one. Fortune's End coming out. Mana not a problem here for the Oracle, and eventually Sumail's just going to run him down and get first blood. Long and drawn out, but successful at the end.
Yeah, it's a terrible start for Tundra. Like, both of them have just been peeled at by so many right clicks and like 3 Lash stuns and 4 Fortune's Ends. This lane is going to be rough now for Tundra. Very good start for the Lash.
I don't really think that they can get another kill like that. Obviously, it took him a long time to get that first kill. So 3-3, I want to assume, should be safe, right? He just TP'd in a lane. If he dies again in the next few seconds or so, if they were to play aggressive on him, he'd have to walk all the way back. But I don't really see that happening.
Nah, I don't really think they have the biggest kill threat unless you're actually out of position, which it's pretty easy to not be if you just like manipulate the creep waves and stuff like that, which he's very, very good at, so I'm not afraid. Puppy though, a little bit low
on the Weaver. Yeah, he needs to be a little bit careful, but there's the Split Earth. They're doing a lot of damage onto Snaking.
No Fairy Fire
forward, and Puppy might just get run down by the Scorched Earth and the help of Snaking on the Weaver. That's exactly what's going to happen. So they do end up getting a little bit of revenge up the top.
Yeah, and that's just the power of the Weaver. It's double hit, Tsukushi. It just deals so much damage, which is just why this hero is so popular lately, especially as support. You don't really need levels to just deal an absurd amount of damage.
Seen a couple of Weavers in the carry position too when they get that third Geminate attack and just rip through everybody.
Yeah, by the way, Timber so far 0 CS. Might get his first right here. Yeah. Not looking good for him at all.
So far, not a fun time, that's for sure. You can see the AM of Skitter just safe to farm, like you said. No matter what they try to do against him, he's here right-clicking, CSing away.
Yeah, mid lane is pretty much the same story though, because Spirit Breaker just can't stop morphing from free farming. So both the carries should have a fantastic game this time around, and we'll have to see what the pace setters have for Sumail and a stun, but Weaver too tanky. Also gets 2 strength per level for some reason. AM only gets 1.6, by the way. I don't
Bobby's
complain,
in some
but
trouble. He's still getting hit up. Now
Has
they
a
turn
healing
on
salve, though.
Snaking, Fortune's End, Sentry down, right clicks in, Purifying Flames, and Sumail helping out with the Lightning Storm finish. Puppy was getting run at by this Weaver, and the aggression, well, turned sour.
yeah, the power of double nuke, double range lane. Like Lash plus Oracle is... It's just one of the most disgusting lanes, honestly, in the safe lane. So tough to play against.
I'm a big fan when you get that level 2 in the Purifying Flames as Oracle. You start outputting some big damage. It is so fun to maybe steal a kill here or there, you know?
Yep, just casually doubles the damage to 180. Level 3, no problem. On like a what cooldown? 3 seconds? 2.5 even, okay. Sounds fair. A bot lane, completely out of mana on a Timber Saw, so AM's free farm has been initiated. Well, he had free farm all the time, but he's gonna farm even freer now.
Out of losing his courier.
Yeah,
You
but
need
at
to be
least he'll eat the
careful.
cheese.
Everybody looking to eat that cheese, but you don't want to be ILTW when it comes to couriers.
No. He's had the worst luck of any player I've seen probably ever when it comes to couriers, so... Yeah. Snaking, it's gonna be full duration.
And there's going to be a follow-up stun. Ooh, Infernal Blade
Sumail.
stops it. Now they're
76
turning on Sumail. There's the Lightning Storm out, has the stun still, needs to be careful. Shikuchi forward, but doesn't want to play too aggressive with the Diabolic Edict going off.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a weakness of the safe lane Lash. Like, you want to max out the Edict because you're not getting a whole lot of levels, but if you have level 2 Split Earth and level 2 Stun, sorry, a Lightning, you actually just kill there, which a mid Lash would have. But, you know, because you're in a safe lane, you got as many levels, you kind of just want to max out Edict to be as efficient as possible.
Sitting level 5 at the moment. So, ahead of both the Weaver and the Doom.
Yeah. So, it's peaceful right now. So let's talk a little bit about this Timber Saw AM lane, right? So, AM can't really ever kill the Timber Saw, but it's much easier for him to last it and deny creeps, of course, right? So, that's why AM is considered so good against Timber Saw. And then maybe level 6 with a rotation, you can kill him with a Mana Void, but even that's not the easiest task. It's just like you can't get pressured by Timber Saw, which in itself is a win already.
And it's a win enough where he goes for the Orb of Corrosion. We've seen some anti-mages skip that altogether.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like a big fan of the item against the Timber, because you don't really have a kill threat, as I said. Like, -3 armor when he has like 20.
9 just getting run down here. Puppy having that second level in the Purifying Flames. It was the Adaptive Strike, and then Purifying Flames gets the kill.
Wish I could have seen that. I don't have any vision on the map right now. Gotta restart my game.
It's a good kill to have. Nisha's certainly having a really easy time over mid. Pulling away by quite a bit. 24 CS for the Spirit Breaker, 38 for Nisha with 14 denies. They're going to run it 3-3 top, while bottom they go after Ice. 3-3 over in the top lane is going to get run down by Sumail, and there's nothing he can do to really get away, especially once Puppy makes the return over. Meanwhile, 9's gone bottom.
Yeah, too impatient. They needed the Mana Void. It would have been 100% a kill, but they didn't wait for it. So the rotation was kind of wasted. He needed 1 creep only to level 6. Unfortunate.
Can't get that charge to go all the way through with the Adaptive Strike. And 9 is a full level behind Nisha.
Yeah, it's an impossible lane, honestly. Like, it's probably the worst matchup for a Spirit Breaker. Like, Morphine just has so much base damage that you can't pressure him at all. You have no spells to make him low HP or force any morph ups, so Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under
But at least the AM is free farming, you know? It's silver lining.
Is that everything
And
the
the Doom
game's
is fat
relying on,
too.
though?
It is. Like, the AMs has been last pick because he has such a good core matchup against anybody, right? So a fat AM can definitely solo carry this game. Like, no doubt about it. But on top of that, look at Doom. He's actually the highest net worth of the game. And he's greeting it out with a Midas.
Yeah, going the Ultra Greed, knowing that this game might have to go late for them to beat the early game pressure and get Anti-Mage some farm. Going to the Midas, he's only got now level 3 in the Devour, and that's after 2 deaths in the top lane. So 33, you know, not falling too far behind the pace of what a Doom has early on in the game, despite the fact that he's had some struggles.
Yeah, luckily one of those deaths was like right at the beginning before the creeps even hit each other, so that death usually doesn't cost too much. So before Edict on the top tower, gotta pop the glyph, probably,
Radiant structures
maybe.
are fortified.
Yeah. SB's charging, they got a Doom.
He's charging, but he's already far away, and the rest of his team, they're
he's
gonna need
going
a
in,
second
what?
to catch up. Yeah, he's committing all the way through. Nine kind of singled out because he put himself in this position.
Mana Void.
They'll miss the stun, but they've got Skitter with the Mana Void to just blow up Sumail.
Regeneration.
Nice bait. Even I didn't see it coming.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I
attack.
wasn't
have the
so
Omnivision.
certain. Yeah, I wasn't so certain Skitter was going to make the rotation all the way over. But
Yeah,
once he
same.
did, they have the catch to go and finish off this little Shrek.
It was a perfect rotation though, because you can't really lane bottom anymore, so you don't want to be there. And top lane is pretty much free farm for him. Like, Lash cannot pressure an anti-mage at this point. How far away is he from the Battle Fury? Still 3 components. So he went for Treads and Orb of Corrosion. So the slowest quote-unquote Battle Fury build-up you could go for. Gotta admit, I don't like the Orb of Corrosion too much, because as I said, Timbersaw doesn't care about it. We'll see if it backfires. Because 900 gold towards the Battle Fury is a lot.
Yeah. Is it
Is 900 gold
reactionary?
It is. A reactionary to what though? Like, you know it's Timbersaw, you know you can't kill him, you know he won't have any mana, right? Like, that's just how the matchup works.
Maybe fighting early? I have no idea if he wants to counterplay some of the aggression that Secret's going to play, but I don't really think he should be moving around all too much unless he's guaranteed to kill, which he was up top if he just made that move and Mana Voided.
Yeah. But then again, he doesn't need the Orb of Corrosion for that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it will lead to him surviving once more or so. 150 health is not bad.
Charge a puppy. They've got 3 heroes here to try and make something happen.
Ash.
And they just needed 17% to actually hit, and unfortunately it doesn't. Now Fada getting turned on. They've got the Fortunes and Nisha joining in, gets the charge out onto 9. While this Undying's being singled out by both supports. Waveform charge away, Adaptive Strike on the low ground now. Far enough away where he might survive. They still have Spirit Breaker forming
AM
as a
getting
morph.
charged.
Now he's going to get charged after he blinks back. So here comes the Morphling, Nisha, with the
Lot of
Adaptive
damage.
Strike, the right click aim, Mana Void, and I think just holds him back for a moment. Keeps everybody alive, though.
Yeah, and now it's ping to bottom. Was the auto-rotated top. I'm
again.
pretty worried about Nine's game.
Oh,
Or Fata again, yeah.
starting to heal
Would
off
eat
the
the
Purifying
cheese.
Flames, but he's going to die eventually.
Would he eat the cheese?
Not
Not right
this
now.
time.
Yeah.
Usually
Wonder
after
why
every
not.
death.
Well, look at Spirit Breaker's net worth. He's a mid hero. Ah, it's rough. Rough. Sometimes creativity can be the death of you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was creativity or just knowing that they needed the Anti-Mage and was forced to move this Spirit Breaker somewhere else.
Dire's courier has been killed.
I mean, they could have just gone with the Weaver carry and picked like a Storm Spirit or something.
Right.
But, yeah. That's what they went for, so... See how it works out for them. But Battle Fury is still far away.
You're forcing all this time now. Anti-Mage has to move from lane to lane. Not exactly sitting all too comfortably in a lane at the moment. He finally does go back bottom after everybody came top, but still, you know, you're spending that time moving and not getting that Battle Fury.
Yeah, Doom, however, is still massive, so it's a big win for Tundra. Once he has his BKB, he can actually just run in and find a good Doom on potentially the Lash. Next Vendetta, they have no sentry. No sentry. But he can't solo kill AM, he needs at least +2.
Fada. Just kind of in this odd spot that makes it so the attention's on him. He's going to start to run with 3 heroes coming his way.
So much space.
It really is space created. But eventually the space will run out for him and Nisha will get the kill and take out Fada. Still eating the cheese. They'll go after Ice Ice Ice. They've got 33 in. They'll doom him up. 4 heroes in this with Skitter involved. They'll get the kill onto Ice Ice Ice. 33 getting himself credit for yet another kill. Now 3 and 2.
CIS lul. So that Skitter tried to last it.
Didn't get it.
You know, if it's me, I would just man avoided that, you know? Because getting that kill is actually pretty important. It's like 250 gold, which is like 6-7 CS additional. And your Battlefield is already like not slow, but not the greatest timing, you know? Any little bit counts.
Dire's structures are
Boing.
fortified.
Spirit
Breaker
Breaker.
on the mid tier 1.
Are fortified.
Yeah, not a glyph though.
And they have no doom, so Secret can feel pretty confident pressuring this tier 1 mid.
Yeah, where's their team fight also? They have none. A Tombstone is their team fight.
Currently on cooldown.
Yeah, and it's only level 1 also. Like, he's not even trying to team fight because he knows they can't. They gotta get a lot of money on all of the heroes before they can really fight. So it's gonna be Secret grouping up, pushing a lot of towers, and Tundra trying to split them, pick them off.
So far, Secret have done a good job. They got the outer towers in the mid and safe lanes, so the map opens up for them. 9 though in on Sumail as well as Puppy. Fada coming over with 33. They're gonna try and make a move with Snake King
AM's
coming around the back. They go after Puppy for a second. The damage onto this Weaver. Now he's stunned up and just killed off. Sumail gets the kill. They'll charge through the fight.
Careful AM.
The Spirit Breaker. Now they've got themselves a false promise, but they get the kill on a Puppy and Nisha. Skitter with the Mana Void gets themselves 2. They'll run down Yapzor, take out Sumail, and 4 heroes die on the side of Secret.
Damn. That was a massive mana void on the Leshrak, who had like 200 mana out of 1.2k. So everybody took a good 1000 damage nuke. Morphling just disappeared. He was full agi, gone. Well, it's like AM still ended up dying, but obviously was a full team wipe pretty much, so very well worth it.
It says, yeah, Skitter dropped before he even got both those kills.
Yeah, but you like, let's just say this doesn't happen and he just dies, because it was like a millisecond or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get those kills, he dies. Like, his game is pretty over at that point. Like, it's so risky to join these fights. This time it worked out, which I'm happy with, because I want AM to win, obviously. Very close to the Fury now. 300 gold. And Doom is just so far ahead of everyone. This game state is really good for them.
Madman. He's almost got this BKB. Yeah.
He has it. The Vow is about to come off cooldown. And there it is. Great hero.
So way more comfortable going into these fights with the BKB, and they've got Doom up. That was a fight without the Doom, and they still seem to take it not easily. I think a couple things lined up for them, obviously. Charge comes out of the Spike Carapace, Nyx Assassin, Yapzor back into sentry range, just kind of sitting there, and he doesn't know that this sentry is around that they just placed, so he'll be taken out. Good work there. Tundra don't give it away immediately that they drop down that sentry, and they're able to get a kill on the Yapzor.
Yep, AM's Battlefield is also there. Game is going very well for them. Another charge. They have Doom potentially.
And oh, killing off Nisha immediately. They're gonna get Puppy as well. This is with them just recently stacking. Oh gosh.
This is the worst case scenario for Secret. Morph keeps dying just before his Lincoln Sphere. He had the perfect start, but like, look at his net worth now. Same as the Spirit Breaker.
They'll take care of all the stacks that were made for Nisha.
Yeah, thank you.
They've got this Battle Fury now. Not the quickest timing, but we'll see what Skitter can do with it. He's been involved quite a bit. He's 2-1-4 for an anti-mage, a hero that we normally see try to isolate himself and get that Battle Fury as quick as possible. He has been involved in quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's because they have so many good mana void targets, as we previously alluded to. And at least the Lashrock is kind of crippling his item build to... Sure, there's a charge and a mana void, but do you really want Lincolns first on your Lash? It sounds pretty suboptimal. Well, it doesn't matter, we'll see what happens. Yapzor, Vendettaing up, trying to find a kill, but the sentry placement and positioning of Fata is just so good this game.
Vision is ready for this Nyx Assassin.
They see him every time. They're like, ah, damn it, I have sentry, put it down immediately.
And it's stopping this Nyx Assassin from maybe adding to the pressure of Secret, and
Dire's
they're going to go into
Roshan now.
Roshan's Secret.
It
There's a
looks
smoke
so
immediately.
forced.
I think Tundra know exactly what this is happening, and they have Snaking throwing a swarm in. They've left this Roche now with about 60% of his health.
Yeah, it looks so forced. All they have to do on Tundra is wait for the Doom. He has his BKB, almost blink. And then...
Skitter.
Be careful, Skitter. Okay.
Dire's top tower is
But yeah, all they have to do is wait now. Because this Doom is pretty much unkillable. And they're on the clock. Aim is farming. Doom has Midas Devourer. Like, you are losing right now in your Secret.
They're down 4,000.
Yeah.
Nisha getting charged again, but 9 will stop it early. With Puppey making the rotation.
Yeah, this game is looking pretty rough for Secret. They only have 1 stun against the Anti-Mage, which is the Nyx. But as we said, he's always getting sentried out. Ooh. That was close.
Showing the high five as he crosses through mid. All the way down towards bottom. Although right into the hands of Ice, bulldoze and on the run. They've used the dust. They'll catch 9 for a second. He's got charge in one more, and yeah, he's way far away.
Like, dust disappears so quickly once you have the bulldoze active. Like, you actually need sentry wards or a gem.
Yeah, level
Otherwise, you're
4,
not killing the guy.
70% is... Yeah, I say it every time we see the Spirit Breaker together. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a 0 too much.
Yeah, especially because there was that time in the game where a lot of heroes were getting status resistance. Then that was all taken away, and now you got Spirit Breaker with 70%.
Hata's eating the cheese again.
And he'll eat the cheese, aka eat the gank, but does he eat the gank? The charge comes all the way through, and they're gonna pop Sumail with the Mana Void once again. They've got the Doom onto the Oracle. That means no saves. They'll chase down Puppey, they'll chase down Ice. 3 heroes down on the side of Secret. Yapzor behind the tier 1 tower, and presumably to safety, but you know, you never know with Tundra, who might just make the jump. They're gonna go into Roche instead, though.
If they get this Roshan, this game is all but over. So they gotta try to do something about it. But it's only Morph and Nyx. What can they really do? If this AM gets the Aegis here, just at 5 minutes of free farm, you won't be able to stop him anymore. And it's theirs.
fallen to the radiant.
I think that Secret started and wanted, but they don't end up getting, and now they've fallen behind 7,000 net worth.
Yeah, and remember, I said they had no team fight, right? But if Bara gets a 4-man charge, then it's pretty equivalent to like a good Lion Impale or something like that, you know? Deals a ton of damage. Sailed for really long. Oh, they can't catch. Oh, no. Snaking doesn't even know, but... Ooh. Oh, double damage rune. If he didn't have that, he doesn't die.
Nisha finally getting another one on the board.
Yeah, but he needs so many more items. Like, if you're ever behind AM and net worth, you're really not comfortable fighting him as a Morphling.
First item Lincoln's is always a tough look.
Yeah,
from an outside
especially on the
perspective.
Lash. Like, Lash really ruined his own game with this. Oh, looking for a setup bottom again. He can just charge a creep if you stun him. Is he gonna do that?
He's got Doom nearby. No
Will,
Doom
yeah,
available,
nice.
but they're gonna go. They've got the Blink as well as the Infernal Blade. Follow that up with the War Stomp. The lockdown's there to kill off Sumail. All that with Scorched Earth on is quite enough damage to get this kill onto the Shrek, but now they've come over with the Timbersaw as well as the Oracle. They're bringing over Nisha. So 3 heroes here.
Just
The
charge.
Dust is out. Bulldoze, charge over onto the Oracle waveform forward. The adaptive strike to get the kill on a 9. Nisha gets at least 1 in return, but they end up losing Puppy with the BKB being popped by 33. Yapstores come over. Fada's here. We'll drop down the Tombstone. BKB's running out. Nisha,
a lot of
though,
damage.
Spear Vessel on him. They'll pop the Lincolns. They'll continue to chase. Fada, they'll eat the cheese. Oh, the Soul Rip almost enough, and they've got another Spear Vessel charge on him. The Swarm's on Nisha. 33 blinks in, but doesn't get the kill on Nisha. Now he looks over at Ice, but the stun from Yapster. They've got the impale. Nisha finally drops the Snaking. They're bringing over Skitter. They've got the Doom on Ice. They don't even care. They don't need to run him down. Fada gets the kill there on Ice. They'll look over at Yaptor. Nyx Assassin should be next. They'll TP in Sumail, who died earlier in this fight. He gets a 2-man stun, but it's not going to matter. They've already lost everybody.
Yeah, it's Secret is looking pretty like disorganized. Lash dies already, then they slowly try to trickle in and kill a Spirit Breaker, which they finally get after a while. But it's way too late already. All the reinforcements are there, and yeah, like I don't know what to do at this point as Secret. You don't even have a Yules to stop the Spirit Breaker from charging as your Leshrac. Like, you just get 3 charges off every time. It's a brutal game for Secret. I never expected the game to go this one-sidedly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's been quite rough.
Dire's middle
Is it even a word?
Dire's middle
One-sidedly?
tower has fallen.
I think so.
Okay, good. If not, we just create words. That's what we do in German anyway.
Shakespeare did it. You can get away with it.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in this new generation, like in a modern timeline, right?
When yeet is considered a word, you can say whatever you want.
Yeet!
That's what they're doing to this Secret team. Eating them.
Oh, they're not just eating them, they're like burying them. Oh my god, he's going high ground. He will eat the cheese again.
Fada.
You know what I realized? Whenever they're really far ahead and he dies, then he eats the cheese. If the game is even and he dies, then he doesn't.
Invisibility.
Yeah, he definitely becomes a looser player once they have the lead, and he just spams that voice line.
Yeah. But also when they're really far behind, he does the same thing. It's just when the game is tense, you know? And he's like, okay, I gotta actually try hard. Oh my god.
He is
That
caught.
again.
They have just so much to lock him down and then take away his mana with the help of 33. And I say so much. Maybe that's a little bit of an overstatement. But Infernal Blade into the War Stomp, when you've got Skitter taking away your mana in that short amount of time, that's a lot to deal with.
Also, he's level 15 and Doom has a shard, which means he's taking an additional 150 damage, an additional 0.6 second stun. Good old level death, baby. They're all in that range right now. Sumail is, Nisha is, Ice is. 3 is a great number.
You guys all thought Level Death was a bad ability.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It was the best thing back then. Like, you reach level 6 as mid-Doom, enemy reaches level 6, the multiplayer was level 6, bam! Instant death.
I just also like the
Wasn't
fact
broken at all.
that Level Death also, I believe, had a question mark in it.
Yeah, it did.
So it's just like, Level Death? Maybe?
Yeah, level death question mark. I'm
like,
pretty
yeah,
sure it came
it
from
is.
like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that's a materia, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a yellow materia.
It can be whatever in Final Fantasy. But yeah, it's a great mechanic. We should have more like that in Dota, like level sleep, you know, level stun.
All the levels. Level damage, level death. Well, I guess level death is level damage, but level sleep,
movement speed.
that's a passive. Based on your level. I don't hate it. Take that, you know, put that in for Bulldoze. Get that status resistance out of here.
Level status resistance.
God, no. That's just Bulldoze.
Pretty much. Well, they're gearing up for the next team fight, and Shiva's guard already completed on the Doom. He is
He's
just
so farmed.
Yeah, like 3k out of the anti-mage even.
And to be fair, Anti-Mage has been playing the catch-up game.
He's just gonna BKB and he's fine.
There's the Doom onto ISIS. They go to the ult on YapzOr from 9. Charge over to the creep wave, so that's going to keep YapzOr controlled. The Bash is in to get the kill there onto the Nyx Assassin. They look over at ISIS. They look for a high five. They've got their hands out. You're my favorite player. You're my favorite player. And then they eventually get the kill.
Oh, Poppy with the jukes though, TP.
Oh,
Bash.
hi. No.
You could have popped his BKB on Doom if you really wanted to kill him, but he's like, alright, puppy. I don't hate you that much. Yeah.
Psychic Headband, Titan Sliver for the side of Secret.
Why do you think Fail Grenade breaks Lincoln's, but Psychic Headband doesn't?
Dire's structures are fortified.
Is the game's in beta?
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah. Because they removed it from Psychic Headband, but not Fail Grenade.
They should keep it on Psychic Headband, in my opinion.
Or remove it from Fail Grenade, one of the two.
Yeah. Should either be both or neither.
Yeah. Weaver. Nope. Just run away.
Immediately lose the outpost.
The entire squad is there too. Oh, Oracle's charged again. BKB is up on Spiritbreaker. You can just kill that Oracle.
It's going to come through, hit Sumail, and now go after the Oracle. They've got the Spirit Vessel. They get the kill on a Puppy who's going to be forced to buy back. Now they look over at Nisha. Nisha going after 33, but 33 pops the BKB, goes to the Inferno Blade. They'll pop the Manta, and he's focusing his attention on the Doom, while Sumail ends up falling to 3 heroes here on the side of Tundra. They finally take out 33. They've got the charge that lands on Anisha, but they focus their attention on Isis once again. The Mana Burn is there. Skitter, Snaking, Nisha on the run, waveforming away, and now, oh, Ice. He's free to leave too, as the rest of Tundra abandon this fight.
It was pre-Skadi. Like, look how good Skadi is against this entire Dire lineup. Like, they all hate it. And he's just about to buy it.
Skitter just in on
There's a lot of mana gone.
YapzOr dusted. Avoids the stun.
Nice.
And holding the Nether Strike for the moment. Mana Void used on Isis. They'll throw the Nether Strike finally at YapzOr to get the kill. Nisha coming in from behind. Looking to maybe get a kill on a Snake King. 9, he's focusing his attention onto Puppy, taking the Oracle out of the equation. They look to kill up the Tombstone, but there's the Soul Rip. Nisha struggling with this one, right-clicks in, and never kills the Tombstone. He can't even get that accomplished. Nisha now forced a waveform out. It's just away from the side of Tundra, a Secret. They're there to back him up.
Yeah, they're just patiently waiting for the Doom to be back, which he is now. Get the next Roshan, and then probably try to end this game. Because AM just finishes Skadi, so if he's ever on top of Morphling, he is a goner. Also look at the ridiculous damage Spiritbreaker deals. Yeah, solo kills both supports, no problem.
And the charge is obnoxious. He doesn't even have the Ags yet.
He just reached level 22, so you get this 200 movement speed talent on the charge.
The fast cow.
Yeah, good luck. I think my max speed was like 1,800 or so.
Oh my god.
Which is ridiculous. And also there's a ridiculous amount of damage.
He's at 960 right now. 960 going after Puppy. 1,744 coming in. Man,
and gone again.
Coming in so fast, like a meteor.
What do you even do?
Puppy,
like,
Ice both die.
You know, Ice had uled, but he couldn't ule him. It's too fast. Like you actually need to play Osu. Have you ever played that game?
No, I've never. I've only seen it.
Yeah, so you gotta play Osu on the hardest difficulty. Then you can like do a mouse flick like that, zack, or like Counter Strike. I have no idea, but. It's ridiculous. You see that thing, you're like, ah, okay, got him, but your mouse is like, eh.
Ooh, they found Nisha. Uh-oh. 33 with the kill. Now on a killing spree.
Yeah.
Antimate's trying to catching up, too.
It's just been all Tundra for like, what, 15 minutes now? It's pretty demoralizing as a Secret fan right now.
I would say probably closer to like 25 minutes.
I mean, not since minute 6, surely.
I don't know. It just... Yeah, I guess. You're still losing 33 in the top lane. He maybe got his second death around then. And...
Yeah, but it's not pretty. And I love this. The AM shot is an absolute hard counter to all of these Dire heroes. Anyone who doesn't know what it does, it reduces spell damage by 10% and 900 AoE. And if you're right on top of them, or than 300 AoE, I think, yeah, they lose an additional 20% spell damage.
Dire's middle
So,
tower has fallen.
if Flash deals 100, he's going to deal 70 per second, which is nothing. Nothing. Or it also works on pure damage, by the way. So, yeah, even this Timber Saw won't do anything.
I was thinking Skitter might blink back. That's not the answer. He's gonna blink forward and go after Ice.
Yeah. It's such a good shot, actually. Very underutilized. Very happy they gave it to him. I suppose they're just gonna wait for AM's BKB and then try to close out the game. They're probably like, the final is waiting for us, guys.
Spirit Breaker has so much speed. Got the spider legs to drop. Has the Shadow Blade as well.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower
he's
is
missing
under
Yasha
attack.
though,
Bottom tower
which is
has
coming out
fallen.
shortly. And the level 25 talent, of course, for the more bash damage. One hit in creep waves as Spirit Breaker. Nothing more satisfying. Nyx is on the hunt though. So
Yeah, Nisha's right there. They've got the sentry. Broke in, stunned, and killed.
800 gold. For a killing spree. That's how far behind they are.
Yeah. Now, Apps are trying to run Skitter, moving in on this. Puppy comes over, but that's not going to be to any avail as they'll get the kill on the Apps. Now Puppy's caught himself out of position, so Skitter with a double kill. The two-man stun coming in from Sumail. They get the kill on Fada. Ice gets credit for that one. So 2 for 2 so far overall. And Tundra, again, not pressing the issue to a point where they take a fight that's unfavorable for them.
Yeah, they really don't have to. Although Morphling is getting quite a bit of items now, he's really like the only threat as of now. Wow, refresher already on Doom. Jesus Christ.
So much gold.
Yeah.
Oh, Skitter. BKB gets popped. 3 heroes around him. Sumail getting chased. He's in trouble. Infernal Blade. He's dead on his screen already. And they know that. So they place the Doom on Ice. They'll get both kills. They'll take up Sumail and Ice. And there's really not much Secret can do to react to that.
Yeah, but like, what do you do in general? Like, you go on Skitter, he literally just presses BKB, kills the Lash, and everybody's running from him. They have no options.
It's also nice to see them, like, you could see just, sometimes you'll see, oh, we need to kill Sumail, throw the Doom on him, but they know they've killed him already. Even though he's got half his life left, they'll Doom up Ice and get themselves a second. It's the chaining of kills that has looked so good for them.
He might be about to be broken.
Puppy. Absol does have that Ags. I'm not sure that's going to even matter. Puppy, false promise. He's going to try and survive. Not looking good, though. And now Nisha, he turns into the Spirit Breaker, trying to turn this one around and get the kill on a 9. 9 gets onto the low ground, and now they've got the help from this Weaver with the time lapse. That actually sends them back into the base. The Impale lands on a 2. The charges out onto the Nyx Assassin. They'll pop the Lincolns. They'll get the Doom out on to this Morphling. Kill off Nisha. He's dead for 94 seconds. Yapzor. 3-man stun, but that doesn't mean his life is okay. And Skitter will get the credit for that one, and he's now godlike.
Yeah,
Dire's bottom tower is under
pretty one-sided affair, unfortunately. There will be like a last-ditch effort, potentially with a Morph buyback. Yeah, here it is. But will that matter,
down. It's not looking like it's going to matter at all with BKB being popped by Skitter. They've got the time lapse again over onto the Doom, so that'll save his life. Sumail gets run down. No way he's getting back to the base, and they'll look over at Nisha, finish him off there too. And it's a full team wipe and a victory for Tundra in this game number 1.
Yeah, it's a shame that the game went this way. Because like we said, Secret really has to push the pace. I suppose they tried to, but Tundra was just a little bit ahead, as they have been in so many games this tournament. And especially Doom early game, completely out of control when it comes to net worth.
Yeah.
No chance to fight. Like, they took 2 or 3 good fights, and then I'm pretty sure Secret already knew at that point as well that the game is over. Like, with the course that's going, Anti-Mage counters the entire team, has just free farm. What do you do?
Yeah.
Nothing you can do.
And it stems off that fight over bottom where they got those 4 kills. Even though they got the kill there onto the Anti-Mage, Skitter ends up dying. They get 4 kills out of that, and that's really where the tempo of the game felt to go all into the hands of Tundra. You had Doom, who had so much already, and Anti-Mage, who, once he got that Battle Fury, he was off to the races. And then you've got Spirit Breaker moving at 1800 movement speed. Honestly, with the controller support, I think people have to start playing Spirit Breaker with the racing wheel